And good evening, my lovelies, and welcome back to the Blue Rose Respite for my whimsical Wednesday stream. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, my lovelies, as we will be continuing with more Tavern talk this evening. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. Great to see everyone is just happy vibing to the music. Hell yes. I hope you all have been having an amazing week so far. Yesterday was quite awesome. I got to do my VO session. That went really, really well. Absolutely killed it, as always. Then spent the rest of the day wandering around London, getting some errands done and things like that. And yeah, lots of cool things. But I'm not going to lie, it's a combination of probably just fatigue from going to the gym and really pushing myself with my weight training, and just the heat in London at the moment with it being summer. But I tell you what, like, I am just so tired all the time these days. So I think with tonight, I'll probably be having a similar length session, streaming session to Monday, maybe keeping it closer to 2 hours, 2.5 hours or so. So just giving you guys a fun heads up, because it is so hot in my apartment and I am so tired. And Scaracomi, how was my VO session? It was really, really good. I had a great time. The client was lovely to work with. I had a great time in the booth. I was working with a technician that I'd worked with before. He's always lovely to work with, always a wonderful ball of sunshine. So I had a great time, very chill, very straightforward. It wasn't for anything super spectacular. It was a corporate VO job. So I'm not sure if I could talk about the particulars of it, but it was just for a corporate thing. So it's all good. I had a great time doing it. Hell yes. But one thing that I should give you guys a heads up about is I know I'm going on vacation to San Antonio, or taking a break from streaming, not next Monday, but the Monday after, until I come back in early September. But I'm also going to be away next Wednesday night. I'm taking that night off because I'm treating myself to a night off and doing something that I told myself I was going to do for a really, really long time, but then after August, I'm not going to be able to see it anymore. I got a ticket to see the Spirited Away stage show that's currently happening in London. So it's a fully Japanese production, but it's performing the story of Hayao Miyazaki's Spirited Away with puppetry and actors and an orchestra performing the score. And it's essentially a stage adaptation of the movie, of the animated movie. So it's leaving the theater at the end of August. So by the time I come back from my trip, I'm not going to be able to see it anymore. But I was like, just to see if there's still tickets available, and I managed to grab a ticket for next Wednesday. So I'm going to be taking next Wednesday off, but I am going to be back on next Friday, so I'll have one more stream before I go away on my little break to do my motion capture workshop, and then the very next day get on a plane to San Antonio for San Japan. But I'm very, very excited about seeing it. It's going to be a wonderful night out. But I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that this is going to be the last night we'll stream Tavern Talk for a while. So unless the story like completely wraps up tonight, we'll have a bit of a break before we get to the end of this amazing game. Alrighty, so my lovelies, how are you? How has your week been? I hope it's been good. I hope that it's been much more restful than mine has been. Golly gee, you got a huge ass schedule. Oh my god, like, Adia, that you have no idea. I swear, I was a bit worried about booking myself in for this motion capture workshop that I'm doing literally the week I travel, because it's a 2-day workshop and it ends in the evening, and then the very next morning at like 8 a.m. I'm on a flight to San Antonio. Actor's life, like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's so much fun, but it's all things that I love doing. It's all things I'm passionate about. So it's just going to be exhausting, but that's what the, like, 12-hour plane ride is for. That's when I sleep. So far my week's been pretty good. I got to hang out with some friends. We got to see Deadpool Wolverine together. Hell yes, Weaver. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Oh, and thank you for the hydrate check, Crescent Feather. Much appreciated. You deserve it, Steph. You've been working so hard lately. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. Also, Steph, my friend, is now obsessed with Shadows and Stardust. Hell yes. Thank you so much for telling your friend about my ASMR tale. I really, really do appreciate it. And I'm glad to hear that they love it so much. I'm alright. Got to cat sit for the polycule this week. Oh, that's awesome. I hope the little fur babies are well behaved. They're cats, so I know that they're probably not going to be, but just sending good vibes anyway. I think Steph's going to kill it as she always does. Why, thank you, Talon. And also, it is lovely to see you again, my friend. I really hope you're doing well. I miss your face. I hope you're staying safe. I hope the family is doing well and enjoying the summer. Staying cool as best as you can. But yeah, you deserve any kind of break, Steph. You've been pushing yourself a lot and deserve a treat then and there. I'm trying to be responsible with my finances because I'm still in the early stages of being a full-time actor and streamer and content creator. Like, I've been doing this for years, but now that it's my full-time thing, I really need to keep, like, booking those consistent, like, acting jobs in order to, like, make the most of it. Like, I'm relatively very responsible with my finances, but when it comes to things like booking a ticket to go see a stage show that I'm not going to be able to see when I come back because it's going to be ending in a few weeks, it's little things like that that I'm like, you know what, I've worked hard, I've saved up money, I deserve a little treat. My week's been good, nothing exciting, but I did finally get an appointment with a physical therapist after over a month of trying. That's really, really good, Sam. I hope that you feel better soon. Today it's been 5 months since my job has been delaying my salary. Oh, Bran, I'm so sorry. I really hope that you get paid soon. I'll definitely, by the way, Aya says hello. Hello, Aya, I hope you're doing well. I'm just hoping the kittens don't cause a catastrophe. We're cheering for you, Steph. Oh, thank you so much. You're welcome for the hydrate. Also, you caught me watching your Faith, the Unholy Trinity VOD since you mentioned it last stream. Awesome. I really hope that you've been enjoying them, Crescent Feather. That game series is so fucking good, and it's probably one of my favorite horror games that I've ever played, and I had a grand old time playing it. Hell yes. You do so much for so many you need it. I just have a little treat every so often. Oh, JB Valley, I'm doing very well. I hope you're doing well as well. And thank you so much for the really cool fan cam edit, that you posted this morning. It's really, really awesome, and I really love seeing fan edits. It really means a lot. Thank you. I might order another cameo from you, Steph. Cameos are always appreciated, and I will do my best to indulge. Dreams of an Insomniac is haunting me now. Good. I'm glad it is. Dreams of an Insomniac is such a good, like, horror series. Pastra is so talented. I feel bad that I've only been starting to watch his stuff in the past, like, 2 or 3 months or so, and I wasn't familiar with his channel, like, ages ago. Because now I'm like, okay, now I have to catch up with all of his videos because this shit good. I'm enjoying them. I already love the game, and having your lovely voice alongside it is a treat. Why, thank you. I appreciate that. Today, will we have Pick My Voice? Indeed we will. Indeed we will. I'll already be doing a large array of different accents and voices for all of the wonderful characters in tonight's game. But yes, if there was a particular voice that you had in mind, then I'll do my best to oblige. No problem, I'm doing okay, just excited for my birthday. Oh, happy early birthday then! Is it today or is it later this week or this month? Either way, happy birthday! I didn't know he existed until you recommended them last stream. Honestly, I don't know why, like, Pastra stuff hasn't popped up on, like, my YouTube algorithm until it eventually did. And maybe it's because I was, like, rewatching the Walton Files and their stuff got recommended to me. But either way, I'm glad that I finally came across them. My friend's birthday is soon and she's adamant on getting a Night Angel cameo from you as well. Oh, by all means. Please do if she wants to. I need to think of another cameo to ask about. Oh, hell yes. Hell yes. August 22nd, so next week. Oh, awesome. In that case, happy early birthday. Alrighty. So, let us settle in for some more tavern talk, shall we? Because we stopped right in the middle of a day, so we were just getting into the evening. And so let's pick things up where we last left them, shall we? Everything is looking good on my end. And let us continue, shall we? We have the wonderful, wonderful Care and Fable. So let us see where the story takes us. Morning. It's not morning. Did I sleep that long? No, it's still the same day. Oh, that makes more sense. Not morning, Elfie. Not morning? How did you sleep? Soundly. Feels like I haven't slept so well in ages. Okay, can I have a bit of that, please? My friend the other day, not the other day, literally today, he told me that he slept 11 hours the other night. Why can't I have that, please? It's so hot in my apartment, I barely sleep anymore. Okay, focus, back to the game. Soundly. Feels like I haven't slept so well in ages. Archie said you're going on a quest? Yeah. Right now I'll be escorting some rich to Diria. Be a little nicer, please. He's Archie's friend. Sorry. We'll be escorting some rich idiot to Diria. He's Archie's friend? I see. That's why he was so excited. 'Cause his friend's leaving. Must really be craving some peace and quiet. Oh, no. He's excited because they get to travel together. What? He said he's coming along. Oh, no. What is Tavern Talk about? Andy, if you put ! sponsor, you will be, the link for the Steam page will come up because this is a sponsored stream. I was kindly gifted a copy of Tavern Talk by the developer Gentle Troll, so big thank you to them for that. Since when? Rhea invited him. Great. Is it too late to back out? Come on, Care. Yes, don't be a coward. Fine. But I'll need another drink. That would be rather difficult. I already gave you a drink tailored to your quest, and my booze shouldn't be mixed so irresponsibly right before an adventure. So I'm just supposed to deal with this headache by myself? Yes. Very helpful. Thank you. You're welcome. Do you think something exciting will happen on your quest? We'll see. I've got a good feeling about it. You reckon I'm gonna slay another guardian? Maybe. That would be intense, right? What kind would you like to fight this time? Not sure. I feel like I already met the one I was looking for. What could be a greater fight than slaying a wyvern chimera? You're right. I think that means it's time to befriend the Realm Keepers now. That would be something. Which one would you like to meet the most? Gaia. Can't think of a greater honor than that. You? Gaia as well, but I feel like I should pick someone else for balance. Cassiopeia, maybe? I'd love to ask her how she's doing right now. Maybe give her a hug. Fable is too precious for this world. I love them so much. You be the type to give a dragon a hug. What does that mean? That you're very lovely, I think. Something like that. So, fellow dragon enjoyer, who would you pick? No repeats. Ooh. So we have Ceates, and Leviathan. Ceates sounds interesting. Do I have any bits of lore or backstory on the different dragons? Probably not. No, I've just got bits about like the world and everything. Like Leviathan sounds pretty spooky, but like hugging the first dragon and the origin of everything would be pretty badass. So I'll pick her. There's just something fascinating about trying to understand the incomprehensible. They say their domain is covered in the roots of the ether tree. Laying eyes upon them supposedly reveals unspoken truths of the universe. Also, I've been playing so much Love and Deep Space, so I can't see the word ether without thinking ether core. God fucking damn it. This game has consumed my life! Fat Panda Gamer, welcome! I have no idea what's going on, but I'm here for the cinnamon roll elf girl. Oh, Fable is just the sweetest bean. They are so, like, gentle and kind, but they have so much courage as well, and they just want to be a fun adventurer and do cool things. Laying eyes upon them supposedly reveals unspoken truths of the universe. And yes, also, Fable is non-binary as well. Brian, I'm not sure if I can do a Yoda voice, but I can try my best, I guess. But thank you so much, Brian, for that. Our first pick my voice of the evening for Yoda. I will endeavor to try. It's not really my repertoire, but I'll try. I'm so sorry in advance. Wonder what that do to you. God damn it. Something fun, I'm sure. But I suspect your quest will have its merits, even if you don't meet any of the Realm Keepers. That's true. I bet you and Rhea will have a lot to talk about, and you can teach Archie more about adventuring. I'm not so sure about that. I can't come up with the way Yoda speaks, which is like the swapping of like the beginning and the last of a sentence, because I don't want to mess with the text on screen, so we don't miss out on important bits of story. I'll try and do the voice though. I'll try my best. You're a great teacher. I've learned so much from you already, just by being your friend. Like how to say what I really mean. I'm still working on it, obviously, but I feel so much better when I'm being honest about what I want. You've been getting a lot better at it. Thank you. And Melly loves practicing with you too. She says she wants to ask Rhea to build her a greatsword of her own. Can you do the Yoda laugh? I can't. I haven't watched any Star Wars properties in like well over a year now. I'm sorry. I could do the kind of cadence and graveliness of Yoda's voice, but I don't know the particulars. I'm sorry. Size matters not. No, it does not. So, a regular sized dagger? Teaching someone to hold a sword is one thing. Guts and bravery are something else. Not sure if I can teach Archie something I'm still practicing myself. You can always practice together, Yeah. Speaking of practice, you're going on a quest too, Alfie? I am. Or and I going to fix the Banshee and the Mara Morgan's relationship. Is that sneaky twister's new name? It is. Ain't you scared of the Mara Morgan? Only a little. Okay, maybe a lottle. Anyone else think Steph should sing Yoda's Seagull song? I don't know the lyrics off the top of my head. I'm sorry. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I'm familiar with it. Do you think she's going to drown me? Or do you think the Banshee will? Maybe they'll reunite through the teamwork of drowning me. Probably not. I think you'll probably find some wacky-as-heck solution that no person in the history of dragonkind would ever have thought of. Like being kind or whatever. I'd like that. And if all else fails, you've always got an insane air echo by your side to pull you out of the water. If he can swim. He's sane. Is he? Well, mostly I think he's sad, and sadness can make people feel a lot of intense things. Anger leads to hate, hate leads to fear, fear leads to suffering. Like fear or anger or nothing at all. Anything that isn't sadness. It's easy to lose yourself in that, but there's always a way out, if you're looking. You're taking that sheepfish thing along? Maybe. I think he might let him stay with Melina, so she isn't alone. Or so he isn't at risk of losing him. Probably both. Not a bad idea. Would hate for her to be all alone while you two go chasing ghosts. Maybe we can send Grace over to check up on her. Or Hex. No. Scarlet, we had our first Pick My Voice of the evening, which was Yoda of all characters. So with that, we actually come to the end of that Pick My Voice. Well, thank you so much, Bran, for requesting Yoda. I did my best. Yoda isn't in my repertoire, so I usually tend to stick to characters that either I've created or ones that I've voiced in the past. Or it's established that I can perform them okay. I did my best. I did my best. Okay, back to real voices. Guess if you're going with whatever the Drake's name is, you'll finally be able to ask him about his cheesecake recipe. Cheesecake recipe? Melina mentioned he had a good one. I thought maybe he could show me how to make it. Fat Panda Gamer, thank you so much for the 10 bits. 10 out of 10 voice, would listen to again. Hell yes, much appreciated, Panda, thank you. Melina, as in the adorable little kitty cat detective in this game, she is also known as Melly. She is adorable and we love her. That sounds like a great idea. Ask him. You can use my kitchen if you want to. Really? That would be amazing. I'll ask him. Maybe. Andu will be waiting for you. On a completely different note, Kea, what happened to those undead snails you wanted to check in on? Well, they're slow, ain't they? Still got a little time to stick around. So you say you like it here? It's not too bad here. Thought maybe I'd even bring my cousin a souvenir. Hands off my trinkets. It ain't that air echo. I'll get her something from the market. Or the elf settlement. And maybe I'll bring you something back for her from her farm, Elfie. You mentioned you love to try planting some ghost berries. Either way, I'll stop by sooner or later. Don't want to risk her turning into a werewolf and moving house. Huh. Ha ha. No, but seriously, if any more of my family members turn into dragon-forsaken werewolves, I'll be joining the Van Helsings. Still to know if they kill werewolves. Don't care. Do you think I could come with you? When you go, I mean. I will say, Miss Piggy I haven't tried yet, but I think if I practice and kind of listen to her voice a little bit beforehand, because you have to kind of catch her energy as well, I think I could maybe do it. Maybe. Like, Gonzo has a very distinct voice where it's like a normal speaking voice, but it just has a particular, like, natural cadence to it. Miss Piggy, though, I think I could maybe do an impression of. I could gather the ghost berries myself, and I know a lot about snails. Yes, you should. You've got away with her family members. And the snails would love you. Have to agree. You probably make it a chaotic mess, but... a fun chaotic mess. Yeah. Oh, Kaya just looks so sweet when she smiles. Steph, how much would I have to donate for you to do 1 to 2 lines from each of the main cast Muppets? Let me think about how many zeros I need to add to that. I don't know. I don't know. Let me have a think about it. Because I need to, like, see if I could do it before you then send me money for it, because I would feel so shit if, like, you sent me X amount of money and then it was like, okay, can you do impressions of all of these characters, and they all came out like shit. I'm sorry. Seems like you guys did end up forming a party after all. Shut up. Okay. Oh, we got more information on Fable. Anyway, it's late. I think I should go back to the settlement and catch some rest. Kaelin, do you want to come with? We can stop by the werewolf settlement and say hi to Mr. Dragon. Or bye. Ain't sure I got any tips for you in return, but I can listen to your worrying. Yeah, you're good at that. It's not the quality of the product, but the memes we made along the way. You know what? That's fair. Like, you've custom-made some great memes over the years, Scarlet. Do you want to come too, Innkeeper? I'm afraid Andrew doesn't do well in civilization. Or alone, especially not alone. But I'll be eagerly awaiting your stories. We'll return with plenty. I have no idea what you're talking about. Don't play dumb with me, Scarlet. Don't play dumb with me. I'm counting on it. Good night, Care. Good night, Fable. Night. Good night. Okay, and that's that night done. And do. Nom 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 nom. Alrighty. Act 2, Starlight Sonata, Interlude, 13 of the Astral Moon. Let us start, shall we? Scott and Polly! Hey, babies! Oh my god, hello! If you want an explanation, chat, because I know Steph on a very personal friend level, I have and may have 1 or 2 creations over the years for friends' eyes only. Who knows, maybe one day you'll see them. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. It's Scott and Polly, hell yes. Phew, I knew we took the right path. Who said we can't road trip all by ourselves? Oh my god, because they're specifically in the road trip game. Hell yes. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Liam did, I think. I think that was perhaps a rhetorical question. Whoa, dude, didn't see you there. What's up? The sky, last time I checked. It better be. It'd be very confusing otherwise. Very true. Is this your crib? It is indeed. Welcome to the Wayfarer's Inn. With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking? Is this made by the same guys who made the Camp Monster games? This game isn't by the same developer, but these two are cameos from the Monster Camp, Monster Prom, and Monster Road Trip series. Also, there is a new game in that series in development called Monster Con, which is about going to a convention. I tell you what, I squealed so loud when I saw the announcement. So, I am hyped for when that game comes out. Polygeist and the goodest of boys, Scott Howell. And together we are the Prank Masters. With a Z. Woo! Pleasure to meet you. I'm your humble innkeeper. Awesome. What drinks do you serve? Oh, yeah. We're in desperate need of some booze. I'm sorry to disappoint, but I don't serve booze. What? Why? The age rating system is quite harsh on such things. And I've got to keep the place open somehow. I feel you. We've all got some burdens to carry. What else have you got? Magical beverages that can enhance your abilities. It's even rumored they might influence your fate. Whoa, that's so cool, dude. Like an influencer, but for fate. A fate-fluence. That would go so hard on Momogram. It goes pretty hard here as well. Bet. Also, yes, Scott's tail is wagging. He is the goodest of boys, and I want to give him headpats. Bet. Innkeep, please influence our fate before I get bored. I'm feeling incredibly depleted from this weird AF trip. Sounds like you're in dire need of some stamina. Though I think you could use something a bit stronger than usual. Dope. Give me your strongest potion. Technically, never mind. I need something super strong. So, what do we got? Got Sailor's Courage. Let's give them a Southern Brawler. That seems like their thing. Also, we got more info on Fable. Fable has a hidden talent for being able to read other people extremely well. Despite their anxiety, they want to know what to say in serious situations and go out of their way to help people in need. Turns out a little bit of positive feedback and validation is enough motivation to chase their dreams of adventuring. Oh. Okay, so let's give them a Southern Brawler. Just tuned in. One of those two in the road trip game. Yes, they're making a lovely little cameo in this amazing game. Yes. A funky drink for a funky gal. Let's see. Whoa, this is good. Very good. So good I don't even miss the booze. Well, maybe a little bit. I'll take that as a compliment. Try this, Scott. Ooh, that tickles. Just like pickle juice. So, Scott Howell, would you like a drink as well? Nah. But you could tell us where we are and what cool things we can check out around here. I don't know what Andu is, but I want one. Andu is an adorable fat dragon, and if you mess up like mixing your cocktail slash potion, you can pour it into Andu's mouth, and he's kind of like the garbage disposal. So then you can restart the drink again. And he is an orb dragon, and we ponder him all the time. He's so cute. You're in Zenith, in the Republic of Fesoa. Are you lost? No, at least not as long as we're having a blast. You do seem slightly out of this world, though. Ooh, maybe you're onto something, potion seller. I'm not... You know, we were road tripping, supposed to be the trip of our lives, when something weird happened. We're about to take the next turn at the crossroads, and then whoosh! A portal opened up, and I couldn't hit the brakes in time. Yeah, we drove straight through and ended up on a gravel road. Everything seemed different and dated. So dated. Dated? Duh! I've seen and done plenty of weird stuff, but this is a different kind of weird. So weird. No cars, no carriages and stuff. Cars? Yeah. Do you mean carts? Kinda. More like carriages, but without the horsies. I'm afraid I've got no clue what you're talking about. I don't think cars exist here, Scott. Now it makes sense that my phone has no signal either. What makes sense? Oh, no! Don't be sad, best boy! It's okay! We landed in the past. Whoa. Does that mean we time traveled? Yeah. That's so cool. I doubt time travel is possible. It sounds more like you participated in inter-universal travel, which is rare but happens occasionally. Wait. So what you're saying is we are super special and lucky to have participated in such an event? Likely. Dope. This is a sign, Scott. The universe sent us here to wreak havoc. Arwoo! The prank masters will strike again. Soon, after a nap. Can we take a nap, Polly? Good idea. Hey, Funky Magic Mystery Pal, you better get to writing that tour guide. I'll see what I can do. Good. Do you have a room for us? Of course. I've got a room upstairs. Just ignore the scratching sounds and leaking water by the iron door. Don't worry, we've seen worse than that. We've got plenty of experience with sea monsters. Always hyped to meet more. See you in a bit, innkeeper. Come on, Scott, let's hit the sheets. Hell yeah. Maybe I should add some do not enter signs. Hello. Glad to see you, buyer. Thank you for having me. Now that... Is your friend's dispute still ailing you? Still so lonely. Lonely. I came to ask, have you sent someone to help my friends? I did, actually. You did? Yes, I sent Fable and Aura to solve the dispute. Ooh. Then let's hope they'll be friends again soon, so we can have tea parties again. And I can stop being lonely. At least people are visiting my spa. That's good. Thank you for handing out my coupons. You have friends, become friends. Did I hear spa? Yes. Doesn't that sound like something, Scott? Ooh, I love spa things. Now, are you our tour guide, sweet bar creature? Tour guide? Do you want to visit my spa? Bye is a clever play on Bayou. It absolutely is, and it's so cool. These two are Polygeist and Scott Howell. They're currently looking for entertainment. And a way back home. But entertainment first, obviously. It's getting incredibly boring here. No offense, Funky Magic Mystery Pal. None taken. Where is your home? In a portal! Or something. Yeah, we came through a portal, which in itself is pretty rad. But we've had the medieval tavern experience and all. It was good while it lasted, but it's time to move on. Move on to my spa. Something like that. Which makes me think, Vaya, do you think you can help them find a way back home? Of course. You can do that? But first, you have to visit my spa. Nothing easier than that. I'm in need of a facial anyways. The air here is so dry. Oh my god, I have never been to a medieval times restaurant. I want to go so badly to like get the full experience, see the jousting and all that shtick. Like, I've never even been to like a Renaissance fair, like one that's based in the States, because I see them on social media all the time and they look so cool. Like, I want to go to one so badly. My bog water is especially moisturizing. Wait, does that mean we get to go skinny dipping in some hot springs? Oh yes, absolutely. My hot springs are the best. Cool. So a pit stop at your spa and then a road trip back home? You joining us for the ride, sweet bar creature? Please say yes. We'll see. I'll for sure you the portal and my spa. If you bring them to the portal, you could take a ride with them through it. Might help you with your loneliness. You think so? Yes. No one's lonely on a ride with the prank masters. I'll think about it. Which portal do you want to take? The one through Avalon, full of dreams and forests? Or the one through the Twilight Chasm, a place full of dread and weird fishes? Ooh, the Twilight Chasm sounds spooky. I love spooky. I love dreams. They're so weird. Like that one dream I had when I was my own dad. Where should I lead them, innkeeper? Honestly, I have a feeling these two would vibe way more in like the weirdness of the Feywild and Dreamland, so I'm gonna say the portal to Avalon. Through the lush forest of the Ashen Grove. The way we came, not gonna lie, that's lame. But it's a quick way home. And full of dreams, Polly. Imagine how many pranks we could pull on sleeping people. That's not... True. Amazing. Then it's settled. Can't wait to show you my mud masks. Can't wait to show you the world, sweet bar creature. My name is Baya. Oh, cute emoji. Then let's hit the road, Baya. Enjoy your trip and safe travels. Goodbye, potion seller. See ya. Goodbye, innkeeper. I wonder then if, like, this was part of a crossover that they did with Monster Road Trip, and you can encounter Baya in Monster Road Trip. That wouldn't surprise me. A lot of indie developers who have similar kind of game mechanic games will do, like, cameos or crossovers like this. I'm glad Baya could find a little comfort in those peculiar visitors, at least. I'm excited to hear the story she'll tell when she gets back. Nice. And you. Oh, thanks for the stretch check. Oh. Oh, my elbows are stiff. Ow. Alrighty, it's raining today. Okay, chapter 13, come hell or high water. This sounds ominous. Hello. Good evening, innkeeper. Good evening, Grace. Could I ask you for a drink? Anytime. What can I do you for? I'm pretty spent. Do you have something that will keep my mind awake for a little longer? I should have something that could do just that. One moment. Let's see. A nice little mental pick-me-up. I could use one of those myself. Oh, maybe a peak sunrise then. Peak sunrise is a sweet drink that feels like standing on a tall mountain's peak. While this drink focuses on intelligence, adventurers may feel infused with the confidence and agility to climb their favorite mountain range. Unsurprisingly popular with climbers and boulderers. Oh, peak sunrise. What's another good intelligence one? Actually, a sparkling nebula is more their style because it's for scholars. So yeah, let's go with that one. Heavy on the brain juice. Steph, I overfill that just a little bit. Because I was distracted. Steph, I mayhaps will put together a Night Angel or Little Star cosplay. Thoughts? I greatly approve. Hell yes. Just be sure, if you want to post it on socials, be sure to at me or tag me, and I would love to see it. Hell yes. Oh my god, you know what I could really go for right now? Like a frozen margarita. Or like a frozen strawberry margarita. I'm not a heavy drinker or anything like that nowadays, but when it's summer, God, I love me a frozen margarita. Because I love the tanginess of the salt and the lime, just, it's so good. There we go, order up. A drink for the mind and soul, enjoy. Thank you, this is just what I needed. Why are you still so tired? I thought you were done with your thesis. I am, which also means I need to figure out what to do next. The possibilities are endless but not boundless, so considerations are a complicated endeavor. Have you considered a break? I have. Say, Innkeeper, if you had forever, what would you do with it? I've never thought about that before. I like being an innkeeper, so I could just keep doing this forever. It's relaxing and safe, and I get to meet the most wonderful people and wizards all day. Forever is a really long time. Isn't there anything else you would like to do? Oh, that could be interesting. Like, not necessarily going out on my own adventure, but I've always wanted to learn how to play the harp. Oh, why haven't you? No time, no muse, no talent. Or maybe I'm just waiting for the right moment. When will that moment come? I'm not sure. I just don't feel like the harp belongs to me right now. Let me know when it does. I'd love a concert. Will do. Excuse me. What would you do with immortality? I would learn everything there is to learn, every language, instrument, skill, and facet of mortal existence. Honestly, that is one of the biggest things that if I had the gift of immortality, if, say, I had the dark gift and became, like, a vampire, like in a vampire from Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles, I would go out of my way to spend all of my time learning as many fucking languages as I possibly could, and just become just an encyclopedia of knowledge and skill. Because I don't necessarily have a talent for like musical instruments, but I would endeavor to learn at least one. And I would really just focus so much of my time on learning different languages so that then I could travel and be as like worldly as possible and just see as much shit as I possibly could. Steph, aren't you an antediluvian? Shush. Who said that? I didn't say that. I said, possibly, if I ever became a vampire. I didn't specify an antediluvian. Just saying. Just saying. I would travel the plains with my brother and learn even more. Have an infinite amount of tea parties. I'd come to those. When we were little, Hex would always make all the stuffed animals dance around our little tea table. We didn't have money for music boxes, so we just made up songs for them to dance to. He sang them to me. If I had the time, I would love to write down all those songs and invent dances for them. You should make time for that. It's your time after all. And besides, while you don't have forever, you do have quite a lot. An elven lifespan is nothing to scoff at, even if you only get half. Not if you've got the human side of the lifespan. Oh, that's less time. Disappear for 5 minutes to get my food, and we're on the subject of Vampire the Masquerader. I do that too, don't worry. Okay, good to know, Talon. Good to know. Steph, if Night Angel was a supernatural being such as a vampire, werewolf, etc., what do you think she'd be? Honestly, I could see her being something like a wraith or a ghost or something like that. Something that would haunt you and get some kind of glee out of scaring you a bit. Like she would pull some insidious shit, like make creepy music boxes play, or suddenly slam all the doors in the middle of the night just to fuck with you. Like, if she really didn't like you, if she liked you and you're on her side, she'd probably be quite accommodating, but I could see her just like fucking up some shit if she was a ghost. Like a poltergeist, yeah. Imagine getting a bit of music stuck in your head that you can't look up because the world doesn't remember it. Oh no. It is, but I'll make the most of it. Like, literally, Wraith, Night Angel would be like, she's in the walls. She's in the goddamn walls. What will you do next then? I'm not sure yet. I was thinking about going to Asphodel, the capital of the Majocracy. I heard the libraries there are 60 stories tall and rivers float through the sky in an exuberant display of mana. Sounds like paradise for someone like you. Yes, but Hex really wants to stay here. He likes Feoza, Zenith, the Ashen Grove. I think he likes how quiet it is, if you would believe it. I don't think he'd like the bustle of it all. You could just go without him. There's a Majokrian embassy in Zofut. Their teleportation is expensive, but reliable. I don't think he wants to go back to Zofut either, and I won't make him. He could teleport himself then. He really shouldn't. It's quite a long distance, and he's always been awful at teleportation. He could take a ship. I appreciate the effort, but I don't think a ship would help make the distance acceptable to him. He's always going to follow me, no matter where I go. I think he doesn't want to miss out on any adventures or celebrations or funerals. You can just tell him you want to go alone, but then he'd be alone too. Just talk to him, Grace. I don't want to spend our time together fighting. I just don't want him to spend it mourning me either. Oh, sweetie. Okay, so if I'm picking this up correctly, they're half-elves. So she has a human's lifespan, and does it mean that then he has a longer lifespan than her? Let me just see. Half-elf. Yeah, they're both half-elves. So maybe she has a shorter lifespan than him, even though they're twins? Oh no, he's her older brother, even though he's a little bit more immature. So yeah, he's the older brother. I just don't want him to spend mourning me either. You should tell him that. He'll have enough time to mourn you when you're gone. Unlike life, that never ends. I suppose you're right. I'd like to leave something he can remember me by. Maybe I'll build my own wizard tower. Please do. I love those. Did you hear about the one in Morlia, near Darwell? The one with the infamous Majocracian fugitive? Sorry, some of these words are tripping me up. The very same. It seems that its wizard has disappeared without a trace, leaving his tower vacant. I've always wanted to stop by for tea, but I don't want to be rude and intrusive, so I haven't. Hey, Alpha Buck, how's it going? Hello everyone, how's one of my favorite voices on YouTube doing? I'm doing very well, Alpha. I hope you're doing well as well. I wonder what he left behind. I'm sure it's a collection of fascinations and impossibilities. Couldn't you just teleport in to check? And we got another rumor, hell yes. Can't exactly teleport in and out of well-protected places all willy-nilly. You might end up trapped or on a whole other plane. You might. Maybe that's what happened to the wizard? Maybe. Majocracy is so much easier to say. Yeah, I agree. No one seems to know what happened to him, or who he even was, and no one seems interested in finding out either. Isn't that sad? A little. I don't want to disappear like that. You won't. I'll tell your story for as long as I'm around. How long is that? For as long as this world will bear me. You are very easy to bear. Thank you, Grace. Tired but hanging in there. You know what? Big mood, Alpha. Big mood. Would you like to stay a little while? Please. I find your inn truly inspiring. I'll be here if you need a rubber duck. I'm counting on it. Hey guys! Are you back from your quest? Hiya, innkeeper. Hiya, you two. A drink, please. Or two, actually. Sure thing. Actually, what name are we on right now? Well, Aura is still fine. Come on, that was a whole week ago. I was busy. Want to come up with a new one now then? Can I come up with one? Sure. Oh, this is gonna be great. I just know it. How about Kumo? I feel like you look like a Kumo. It fits. Okay, I won't make them seem uncool. He is just as stealthy as a spider. And just as cute. Ow! Oh, okay, this is an interesting development. Hell yes. Steph, I'm gonna head out for the night. I might hop back, but I'm gonna dip to work on some Night Angel fan art. Hell yes, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Scarocomi. Go, lurk, vibe, do whatever you need to do. Oh, but thank you so much for joining us. Oh, they're blushing. Oh, that's cute. I'll take your word for it. Our drinks. Can we get them now? Oh, excuse me. Of course, what would you like? Something sweet. Bubbly, maybe. If you can find something like that. You know. Sure, I'll see if I can find the words you're looking for. I am very eepy, not gonna lie. But we did get some more info about Grace. She's a half-elf, but she inherited the human lifespan while Hex inherited the elven one. That's what I thought they were going with. Grace is always reminded of her mortality and it scares her. She doesn't want to take breaks because she feels that would waste her precious time. She also doesn't like how Hex tries to shelter her. Understandable. God, that's gotta suck. Okay, good to know. So something with a lot of courage, charisma and something bubbly. 1,000 winds could be good. Swept up in 1,000 winds, you become as charming and elusive as their elemental messages. I'm trying to pick something bubbly. That one... Okay, here we go. No, they wanted something bubbly specifically. They always order a spoken heart. Sweet and sparkling to taste, spoken heart will bring your deepest feelings bubbling to the surface. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Like, okay, is it just me or when it's summer like this and you live in a place that doesn't have air conditioning and it's just hot and gross all the time? Like, I am I wake up in like a sheen of sweat because it's so gross and muggy in my apartment. And even now, just like sitting here not doing anything, I have to sit on a towel because like just the heat from my PC beside me just makes me sweat so badly. Do you have a fan running? I have a small fan next to my bed that kind of keeps me cool, and I have a little fan that's off to the side on my desk just to kind of give a little bit of air circulation and keep me kind of cool. But oh, we don't have air conditioning over here and it sucks! Smoking hot. No, I get that. My PC turns my room to a sauna. It sucks, doesn't it? Liquid charisma for those in need. Maybe you should try it then. Do you want to send it back? No, it's good. Glad to hear that. Fable, what can I get you? Maybe something that will make me feel like I could lift 1,000 clouds? Like I've got the strength of a dragon, or something like that. Kaylin always says it's pretty tasty. I see. A Kaylin special then. Okay, something with the dragon boost, I think. What is the one that needs, like, the strength of a dragon added to it? Okay, it gives you the +2 defense and sword. I think it's this one then, Steel Tonic. No, but we need a little bit more of that though. I think Sailor's Courage is it then. Yes, I think this is the one then. Oh, thank you for the hydrate check. Much appreciated. I live in Wisconsin. AC is a requirement to live with the heat. That's fair enough, absolutely. I tell you what, I am very much looking forward to visiting my friends in San Antonio. 1, I miss my friends and I can't wait to hang out with them. 2, I can't wait to go to San Japan and maybe come across a couple of fans in the wild. And 3, their house is beautiful, it's really nice, and there's air conditioning throughout the whole house, and it's wonderful. Okay. Bit of charisma. We're not Southern Brawler, and we need a bit of... There we go, Sailor's Courage. I'm in Massachusetts. We can get heat stroke and frostbite in the same week at some parts of the year. Amazing. A regular's favorite for another regular. Thank you. It's delicious as usual. That's what I like to hear. Also, their drinks are a kind of similar color. That's interesting. Oh, yes, they braided their hair. Oh, that's so cute. It suits them. I like the new hair, by the way. Oh, you do? Thank you. It looks really nice, right? Kumo braided it for me. Stop it. Oh my god, that's so cute. I just imagine I've got like the biggest smile on my face as the bartender, just like cleaning a glass like, you don't say. You don't say. He helped me calm down after we encountered the Marymorgan. But I should probably start at the beginning, right? I'd appreciate that. Alright, so what happened at the beginning? The ship to Boreas. Right. I was a bit worried about the journey we were embarking on. After all, the seas around Boreas are famously hard to traverse. With all the wild magic around it all. But just before we left Zenith, we ran into Una in the midst of an arm wrestling match against Inako. We took the opportunity to ask her for advice. Thought maybe she had travelled there before. You could have also asked me. She was closer. Right. Did she have any good advice? She did. With her help, we were able to avoid all of the dangerous maelstroms, sea stacks, and iceberg elementals. That must have made for a very relaxing journey. It did. It was very inspiring too. We were able to see the dancing, colourful auroras in the night sky as we drew closer. They were starless, but still breathtakingly gorgeous. I even started on a new song. It wasn't ready to be shared yet, though. I just wanted a sneak peek. Well, you should have snuck better. Hang on. There we are. A new song? Can I hear it? It's not done yet. Thanks to Una, we made it to Boreas a lot faster than we had planned. We also docked far away from the typical explorer's route. It was completely abandoned by everything but nature, as if no one but us had been there before. Kind of exciting. Very very adventurous for sure. As we headed inland, we were quickly swallowed by the fog that engulfs almost the entire island. It moved in strange patterns, creating unidentifiable forms within the mist that hungered for life. Hey, chilled monkey, how's it going? Welcome back, good to see you. The thickets rustled as we walked by, whether moved by wind or by creatures we couldn't tell. The trees were shaped strangely, with shimmering portals forming in their empty husks. Our own quiet breaths were often interrupted by shrill, shrieking sounds that seemed to come from right above us. It was almost idyllic. Oh, scary. It was mostly scary. I wouldn't have minded strolling around until we ran into something roaming the island, but it was a little cold, So, I found a local to ask for directions. While wandering around, we came across a clearing surrounded by tall trees. Or rather, one tree. All of them were connected, intertwined with one another. Through one of their twisted connections, a waterfall with no discernible origin was flowing into a small pond. And in its midst rested a nymph! A real nymph! Doing taxes? She was weaving flower crowns for the fish. She was beautiful, with long black hair and skin that glistened in the sunlight being reflected off the waterfall. Her eyes were like sparkling gemstones and her smile was full of kindness. She was alright, but also the only person around. So Fable asked her for directions? No, Fable asked her about everything but directions. Sounds about right. I asked her for directions. She was very helpful. She even gave us a gift. A gift? That's sweet. She gave us earplugs against the Banshee's song, so our bones wouldn't shatter. Very helpful. Did you offer to write her a jingle in return? I did. She said if we were to survive the encounter with Banshee, I could come back and she'd think of what she needed a jingle for. She was thinking about setting up a dragonfly exhibition, so maybe for that. Who would she even advertise to? Frogs? And toads! Kumo. It's alright, just go with the flow, The Banshee was our first priority. So we stealthily made our way to the Lonesome Lagoon with earplugs in our ears. We mostly walked and talked about our favourite dragonflies. As we finally approached the Lonesome Lagoon, the thick mist enveloped us. It suddenly became so cold we could see our own ragged breaths. And then we heard it, a song filled with all the sorrow of the world and compressed into a single note. It sounded really nice. There was so much emotion in that song. Sadness, longing, yearning, anger. We wanted to be polite and wait until she was done singing, but she just kept going, like tears that wouldn't stop. So I decided to be a little rude, stepped forward and said hello. They said, "Hello, Banshee, I really like your song." That confused the Banshee so much that she stopped. She smiled, bearing a row of deadly sharp teeth. She was very nice, actually. She asked if we wanted to steal from her lagoon. When we said no, she invited us to sing along. Did you? Of course. It was kind of fun. It was, and I thought, what better time to bring up the Marigold Morgan but now? So I led with, I bet you do this with your girlfriend all the time, right? Oh, Fable. She suddenly looked at me with hatred and anger and then just started screaming. I was very thankful for the earplugs at that moment. I think without them my bones might have melted. That was our cue to leave, so I pulled Fable back into the thicket of the Borean forest. Obviously we couldn't just leave it at that failure, so we looked around for a peace offering. We found some spiky pink fruits with a pattern of little ghost tortoises on them. We thought she might like them. She liked them enough to stop screaming at us, and we sat down at the side of the lagoon to talk. It's beautiful, by the way. Right in the middle is the giant portal to the Twilight Chasm. It colors the water this deep dark blue with swirling clouds of darkness within. There were bones floating in the lagoon too. I almost brought one for your tavern. Why didn't you? I thought you wouldn't like it. I'm quite morbid, and my tastes in decor are quite like dark academia and goth. So some tasteful taxidermy is a big thumbs up for me. I love bones. I'll keep that in mind for the future. The banshee actually fished out some bones to fidget with. It stopped her from screaming every time she brought up the Marimorgan. Or Marmor as she calls her. It's a pet name, that's so cute. Turns out the Marimorgan had been ignoring all of her calls. Ever since the Banshee was crowned Gaia's scariest monster by Screech magazine. She told us it carved a hole in their relationship, that it caused a lot of jealousy. And then she just was disappointed that Marimorgan cared more about some stupid popularity contest than her. We asked her if she wanted to talk about it with the Marimorgan herself. But she said that she didn't need to apologize for being scary. She was very thankful she got to talk about it though. She was holding it all in because she didn't want to burden Baia with all the drama. She even offered for us to spend the night at her nearby cave. Which was really nice of her. Did you end up taking a nap at her lair? We thought about it, but it was filled to the brim with the riches of the dead. Which is far too alluring to allow us to fall to the call of sleep. You found loot? You have my attention. What did you find? Gold, bones, skulls, jewels of all sizes. And a loot! It was broken, but I picked it up anyway. There was also a delicate silver mirror that had hearts carved all over it. Kuma recognized it as magical from its arcane markings. Melina showed me them in some book the other day, when the wizard in Zoford showed us around his library. It was a mirror of far speech. It lets you speak to anyone on this plane, given that you've seen them before. So you called Melly? No, we called the Marimorgan. Ah, that makes more sense. How did it go? Well, I had to be the one to make the call, since Kuma had never met her. When her face appeared, all I could do was stare in horror as she gazed back at me. I felt like I was back in the Ashen Grove, leading adventurers to their doom, and I just froze. So I took the mirror out of their hands. Her first words were threats of what she would do to us if we had dared to harm the Banshee. Of course we hadn't. That briefly calmed her down. Until I asked her why she wasn't here, if she was so worried about the Banshee's well-being. Avoiding the questions, she instead talked to us about the state of the lagoon. She complained that it must be incredibly loud with all the tourists and whatnot. I assured her there were no tourists, at least none that were alive. So, she asked what I was doing in the lair then. Honestly, I replied that the Banshee had offered us a place to stay in her cave. I quickly realized that I picked the wrong thing to say. Her eyes started bleeding black ichor and she began cursing us out in tongues. The mirror cracked under her gaze and started bleeding black water. It was terrifying. And then we were just supposed to sleep there, as if she couldn't crawl out of the mirror any second. After that happened, I thought that we shouldn't discuss our further plans in that cave. So I pulled Fable outside and we went for a walk. The nymph had mentioned this enchanted flower field where she collects flowers for the fish. So we went there. Thought it might be a good spot. It was a good spot. Even though I couldn't stop shaking for a while, though the flowers really helped. As did not being alone. Was that when Kumo braided your hair? It was, yes. My hair kept falling in my face and it was overwhelming me. So he sat me down and braided it away while I worked on rebuilding the loot. He said that some distraction would help. That is so fucking sweet. Oh. Talking also really helped. Even if I asked a lot of stupid questions. They weren't stupid, just curious. Did you have a favorite one? They asked where I learned to braid hair. That actually brought us further on our quest. How so? Well, I learned it from my mother. It's the only thing I have left of her. It was her way of apologizing. She was never very good with words. Oh, Kumo. It made me think. Sometimes people aren't very direct with what they mean. I have heard of that, yes. Like the Maramorgan. She didn't seem angry about the Banshee outdoing her in some fear pageant. She didn't even mention it once. She only got upset when she thought we had hurt the Banshee. Or when she thought we were tourists. Or when we said we were staying in that cave. Like she was jealous of something entirely different from some issue of Screech magazine. We talked it through and decided we had to get the two of them to talk face to face. Obviously it would be difficult because of the distance, but I had taken the mirror with me when we left. Thought it might be useful. Ever the thief? Indeed. I used it to call Bayer. I asked her to tell the Maramorgan to come to Boreas. Fable mentioned she can teleport via plants, however that works. She can. You should try it out. It's nauseating. Magazine! I love that so much, Weaver. That screaming possum emote just in the middle of magazine. God damn it. I think we'll pass. While I went to talk with Banshee. Oh, excuse me. While I went to talk to the Banshee, Kuma picked up the Maramorgan. She and I really connected on eyeliner techniques. When we arrived at the lagoon, they were immediately ready to claw at each other's throats. I just noticed the person on the right is sitting there staring forward. Yeah, she's just vibing. She's just enjoying her drink, just listening to this go down. Sam, I do need sleep, but I'll be okay for just a little bit longer, okay? And not in a fun way. But somehow we managed to convince them to sit down. We tried to get them to talk about their feelings, but they just kept talking past and over and away from each other. Arguing about an issue that didn't exist. So I had this crazy idea. I took out my new lute and asked them if they wanted to write a song together. They declined and insisted their voices would clash, but I thought at the very least it'd stop them from arguing. I do require rest, but I'll get it a little bit later, okay? Kuma helped me convince them by summoning tiny rain clouds pitter-pattering in a gentle melodic rhythm, to inspire them to give it a try. We asked them to put all of their emotions about the whole situation into a song. In the end, they harmonized together perfectly, like their voices were made for each other and the gentle hum of my lute. It was beautiful. And a little bone-shattering, but very romantic. Most importantly, the song finally got them to understand each other. Like Kuma had suspected, the Mary Morgan was scared, not jealous, now that the Banshee was so popular. She feared that Banshee would become really busy with tourists visiting all the time. She assumed she wouldn't have any time for her anymore. Hey, the Nautical Menace, how's it going? Welcome back! But the Banshee assured her she doesn't care about any of the tourists. Only about the Mary Morgan. And Baya, of course. We told them to talk to her too. And mention how much she had been missing them. They agreed to meet for a tea party in the Ashen Grove, so Baya doesn't have to travel too far. Did you invite them to your barbecue? No. After the outpouring of emotions, they wanted some time for themselves. The quest was done. It had only taken us 2 days, which was really efficient. Unfortunately, we had told the ship to pick us up in 3 days, so we were trapped on the island. So you swam back? What? No, what's wrong with you? The usual. There are many things wrong with me, apparently. We started brainstorming about what we could do while we waited. So I asked about that cheesecake recipe. But then I realized there wasn't anywhere to bake it. They don't have any taverns on Boreas. It was a stupid idea. It wasn't. Somewhere on the island had to be something to bake a cheesecake in. Did you find that something? We did, but it turned into its own small quest. First we had to find the right place for our little adventure. We met these lovely gnomes living in their little mushroom houses, and they offered to let us use their ovens. But they were too small, so they introduced us to the local Toto giant. Its kitchen was enormous, but it was easier to work in than the one that was too small. Oh, honestly, I could go for some cheesecake right now as well. Oh, like a really, really good baked cheesecake. Just, so good. Then the gnomes, the nymph, and the giant helped us gather ingredients from all across the island. So we were able to make enough cheesecake for everybody. I burnt mine a bit. But then we made the second batch for the ship's crew. They were already starting to turn out better. Kumo was a really good teacher. And you're a really good student. Just kiss. Just kiss. I ship this so hard. Or like a red velvet cheesecake. Or something like that. I've never been to the Cheesecake Factory. Americans in chat, please confirm. Cheesecake Factory, is it actually good? Like I've heard their mains can be pretty good, but I just want to go there for the cheesecakes and desserts. Please and thank you. Okay, I haven't been. No from Sam for the Cheesecake Factory. Okay. You can get better cheesecake. Okay, that's fair. Thank you. The cake really lifted the crew's spirits on the journey back. We agreed to teach them the recipe once we hit land. Afterwards, they invited us to the captain's birthday party. They even introduced us to a traveling obelisk who sang us a song of the ancients. It showed us a shortcut through the Ryolith's mountain range where we met some of the flaming songbirds. And now you're here. And now we're here! That was a really well-timed from our second little familiar who's perched behind us. I haven't been to one, but I know there's some in Canada. You can make a cottage cheese cheesecake bowl. Share the recipe in Discord. Honestly, that would be so good. I use cottage cheese in a lot of stuff, mostly for like mac and cheese, to make it more like protein rich. So I would be totally down with making like a cottage cheese cheesecake that's like got extra protein in it. Hell yes. Thank you, Lord Azul. I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, while that is very cute, I am very glad they're back. Well, I'm glad you came back. Of course we did. I promised a good story. And you delivered tenfold. Where are you two going next? I should probably talk to Melina. She was pretty mad when I left. I guess I should apologize while I still can. Good idea to do that, Kumo. Good idea. Do you want me to come with you? No, I think I need to do this alone. Or rather, with her. And I have to check in on Rufus too. Cooking stream, I don't have the camera set up and my kitchenette is very, very small, unfortunately. Maybe Hex taught us some fun magic tricks in the meantime. You left her with Hex. And with Grace. Don't worry, nothing was set on fire. I should go. But before I go... do you maybe want to do something together? Later today or tomorrow, like a thing? Kumo, are you asking Fable out on a date? Yes. It's happening. Guys, it's happening. Yes. Oh my god. The ship is setting sail. Yes. Oh, like hanging out together? We could play charades with the werewolves. I'll be their wingman. Actually, no, I want to save it quickly, just in case I fuck this up. I don't want to mess this up for this. I think he meant hanging out as in a date. Did you? Maybe I did. Oh. Come on, Fable. Okay. That sounds really fun. Cool. I'll pick you up. Or I'll see you around or whatever. I'll see you. I'm looking forward to it. Me too. Ah! Oh my god, yes, it's happening! That was so cute. He asked me on a date. He did. That's... Oh, what do I do now? Do you think Archie has books on dating? Or should I ask the Hydra for advice? It probably knows about dating, right? Archie's still on his quest. Also, I'm right here. You're right. What should I do? No, I am fully supporting this. Just go, see where it takes you. Or where he takes you. Hopefully somewhere nice. I do feel safe with him, so maybe I should try trusting this more. Mostly, I think you should just be honest with him. He seems to like you for who you are, so there's no need to hide. That's the scary thing. Why does he feel that way? Because you are very lovely. See, we, the innkeeper, have good taste and we approve. People keep saying that. But sometimes I just feel a lot lovelier hiding, you know? To me, it sounds like it's perhaps a bit too late for that. Sorry for listening in. You two are just very sweet. Okay, Grace is like on board with chat where she was just like sipping a drink, just like side-eyeing this and just listening intently, not wanting to like interrupt them at any point, but just like enjoying the romance. This is so cute. It's okay. I also thought it was very sweet. He was very sweet. But now that he's gone, I have time to think again. And I'm not sure if it was supposed to be that type of sweet anymore. Maybe he was just being nice? He asked you on a date because he was just being nice. Well, maybe he felt bad for me or something? Innkeeper, dear, I think Fable might be in need of another drink. Maybe something to untangle their thoughts? Something for a quick escape from all this overthinking? That sounds good. I'll see what I can do. Okay, untangle and quick. So something with a bit of speed. Usually we go for swift strike. Untangle though. That is the only one that's like super swift. Leaf on the wind with swift strike. Yeah, that's the only one that really has like the full 3 levels of swiftness that we've unlocked so far. So yes, let's go with that one. Yeah. Does this help? Very much so. Thank you. I feel like now I can uncurl the yarn ball that is my brain. What do you think I should do? What do you want to do? I want to go on our date, and I want to get to know him better. Maybe even get him to know me better too. Do you think he would like that? I think so, yes. It seems like you don't need our answers. You have yours already. Sometimes I just feel like I need permission to listen to my heart. Did you know that you can give that permission to yourself? I forget that every time, but I know you're right. I think I know what to do now, somewhat. But I'll figure the rest out. Thank you for listening to me. I think sometimes that's all I really need when I'm scared. There's nothing wrong with being scared, as long as you don't run from the things that make you happy. You're right. It took me a while to realize that. Running is so easy, you know? You always know where to go. Away. But staying, you have to actually look at yourself, figure out what your part is and everything. That can be a lot. But when I was on the journey back from Boreas, dancing with Kumo to the music of the Navigator's fiddle, thinking about how I would have never gotten to that point if I hadn't put myself out there, I realized that life is so much more than a constant game of hide and seek from the things that truly mean something. And I decided to stop running from life, even if I'm scared. I want to do my best to face my problems. Even though it's terrifying, I know that I'm not alone. Is this still about Kumo? No, he was never a problem. He's one of the reasons I'm not alone. Just like you. With good friends by my side, I can do anything. They are so cute. And I can't wait to see what you will do. It might not be as impressive as you hope, but it will be me, and I'm excited about that. Me too. I'm really proud of you, Fable. Thank you for everything, especially the great advice. That was really great advice. Maybe you should take some of it too, Grace. Maybe you should. But we all conquer life at our own pace. My personal next Goliath is going to be reapplying my lip gloss. And maybe some blush. I do feel a little pale. Can I borrow a mirror for a bit, Innkeeper? Of course. There's some free rooms and mirrors upstairs, right next to the acorn chimes. Just ignore the doors with the do not enter signs. You shouldn't have said that. Now I want to check. Please don't. I won't. I'm polite. Or am I? Let's hope she won't find all the nightmare creatures you have locked up there. Let's. Have you ever visited the Twilight Chasm? Not for long enough to capture any creatures. I see. What are you thinking about, Innkeeper? Oh, you know, Innkeeper things. I don't. No, I mean, since I'm not an innkeeper at all. Right. That song you mentioned, the one you started writing on the ship. I know it's not done yet, but how about a little sneak peek? To see if it would make for a good jingle. I don't think it's jingle material, but I don't mind sharing it with you. Just keep it in mind that it's a work in progress. Of course. Okay, I'm gonna try my best to sing this. There's a calling on the wind beneath the talk of the keep. I've heard the tales, set the sails, it's time for me to leave. That sounds like a great opener. So you like it? It's wonderful. I can't wait to hear more. Me too. But it's still a little rough around the edges. I feel like it's missing something. Maybe the next adventure? Maybe. Will you let me know when it's done? Of course. I can't wait to show you the finished version. Thank you, Fable. I'm proud of you. For maybe finally finishing a song? For not running. Oh. Thank you. Me too. Stephanie is a siren. I am many things. I am apparently an antediluvian, a fae, an archfae, the seraph of stories, as well as a whole other fantastical things that are yet to be discovered. So, shh. Weaver, no! I'm not a British Texan, goddammit! Innkeeper, do you ever think about taking your own advice? All the time, yes. Why don't you? I don't know. It's hard, I know, but I promise I believe in you as much as you believe in me. And I know we'll both be okay. I would like that. Me too. Well, I've talked a lot today. I'll give you some space. Maybe it's time to stop running. Oh, are we going to look at the letter? Should I? Is it time to read that letter? Yes. Yes, I want to know what's in it. What's in the letter? Oh, that was easy. I guess I've been wanting to do this for a while. Let's hope for no regrets. Okay. My dearest friend, long has it been since we've talked last. Long has it been since everything has been seared away by the cold flames of death. I wish I could still remember our last conversation, but it's a waning memory. I can only imagine how you enjoyed running away, wishing to forget whatever was between us. Maybe you did for a brief moment in these 30 years. If you did, I'm writing this letter to kindly remind you of the good old times. To celebrate our reunion, I invite you to the spectacle of this century. The last day of the astral moon, welcoming the first light of the dying moon, where the realm of Tuat is just a grasp away. Are there any spirits you'd like to remember? Are you afraid of what they might tell you? Worry not. I'll be right there. Watch the sky closely on the 35th of Cassiopeia. See you soon, an old friend. Oh, shit! Okay. This is fine. When's the 35th of Cassiopeia? I swear to God, if that turns out to be tonight, then oh no. Okay. Interesting. That was... I guess you've always been a fan of symbolism. But you didn't even leave an address. Very irresponsible. Hi! Fuck! Pardon? No time, duck. What's going on? Are you okay? Do you need help? Healing? Something's coming. Something big. Your next show? What? No. There's no time. Duck. Is the ground... Oh, Oh shit, we're underwater. What the hell just happened? What flooded? Is everyone alright? I think so. Phew. That was a close call. Could have been really dangerous. What just happened? Why? Is there water outside the tavern? I'd also like to know the answer to that question. I've got no clue. I was just outside by the woods, drafting my newest song, when the ground beneath my feet began to rumble. Not even a minute passed and it rumbled again. Then a wall of water came rushing towards me. I didn't even dare to wait. I ran immediately looking for shelter. No way I was going to let my hagum get wet. These strings are made of real Shavian silk, and the body's ethereal bamboo. It's a rarity. That's the first thing going through your mind with the giant wave rushing right at you? Of course! This instrument is just as valuable as my hands! And just as versatile. Hi, Grace. You're kind of stuck with us. Is everyone alright? Grace, dragons, you're alright. I was just worried something had happened to you. Oh, don't worry. When the walls started rumbling, I hid under a table, and then I watched the water rush by the window. It was like a tsunami, but tsunamis are very rare, if not impossible, so far into the mainland. Right. It's so strange. Everything seems to be submerged out there. I wonder what could cause such a cataclysm. It's worrying to say the least. And it's definitely too dangerous to go outside. Even the tavern is leaking. Don't worry, it'll withstand. Are you sure? I'm sure. I've gone through worse than this. You? It's gotten through worse than this. Interesting little bit of information there. Wouldn't have thought it could withstand this sort of thing, but even more so glad it can. Seems to be a simple yet very sturdy tavern after all. Just like you, innkeeper. Are you flirting with the innkeeper? Me? No. Also, that's beside the point. Is it? I mean, unless... I like to work my body. Helps in a lot of aspects. Okay, so we're vibing with this. Okay. Can we get back to the point, please? Yeah, sure. The point. Right, back to the point. Did you see exactly what happened? Not really. I was listening to the whistle of the wind in the treetops, jotting down notes for my next song, when suddenly a horde of silver-crested deer rushed past me. Before they could trample over me, I jumped up on the rock I was sitting on and watched them gallop downhill. Then I saw water break through the canopies, snapping trees in half like they were shashlik skewers. I wasted no second. I turned on my heel, knowing I'd be done for if I wasted just a moment longer. Then I was here, and told you to duck. That sounds horrible. Are you alright? Are you hurt? I'm fine, thanks. And anyways, with whom do I have the pleasure? I'm Grace. Nice to meet you, Grace. I'm... Oh my, you're Voyage, aren't you? The silver-tongued virtuoso? Yes. That would be me. My apologies. I didn't mean to push any boundaries. Grace, are you familiar with Voyage? But I saw you perform at Dropstone Institute's campus that one time. And I must say, you pulled on all my heartstrings with your beautiful performance. Oh. I did that? Yes, I was awestruck by what your music could do. It was like magic in its very own way. Music can be very soothing in moments of distress. Were you distressed back then? A little. I don't remember exactly why anymore, but I remember the emotion. But not more distressed than I am right now. I hope Hex is safe and well. I'm sure he is. Shoot! Did you see that creature swim by? What? Where? It looked like a red-winged eel. Did something go past the window and I missed it? Oh, haven't seen one of those in ages. Where is its natural habitat? Actually, the Twilight Chasm. Why is it here? Something isn't right. I'm afraid you might be correct. I'm also afraid. Very much so. I don't think it's safe to go outside. Of course not. You should all stay for the night. Would that be possible? Of course. The tavern will withstand this, and a bit of company couldn't hurt. I agree. Thank you, innkeeper. Say, with the lute, what's your name? Fable? My name is Fable. Do you play? The lute, I mean. Oh, okay. Team up? Sometimes. I'm still practicing and not all that good with it just yet. How about we play together? A song or two, to lift our spirits and wait out the catastrophe going on outside. It's very untuned. It goes out of tune really quickly. But I guess that's a lute thing? I gotcha. Show it to me. I'll help you and then we'll jam until a new dawn rises. Okay, let's look up the new information that we got. We got some more information on Fable. I think this is now their page is complete. With their budding faith in themselves, they are beginning to enjoy new things instead of being terrified of them. They're learning how to play an instrument, performing songs, and actually letting people close. This process will take some time, but they've come a long way already. Oh, they are so cute. Hell yes. And Voy. Even though he's charismatic, he's surprisingly bad with people, as well as reading between the lines. Despite being self-conscious about his skills, he still chooses to play songs together with Fable after the flood to lift everyone's spirits. He's also got a Hagen made of ethereal bamboo and Shabian silk. And we got another achievement. Okay, is that the end of Act 2 then? Yes, okay. This actually works out perfect because I think it's about time to wrap things up, and this feels like it is the perfect point to end things for tonight because I won't be streaming next Wednesday, so that then when I come back from my vacation, then when we return to Tavern Talk, we will be jumping into Act 3. So everything just worked out perfectly. I love it when the universe does that for me. So, let us wrap things up for tonight. Thank you so much for understanding me needing to do a shorter stream recently, but honestly, it's just so hot outside and in my flat, it is really quite difficult to concentrate and kind of muster the energy sometimes for streams. But honestly, I love the games that I get to play so much, so I always find a way to power through as best I can. But be sure to join me on Friday for more Baldur's Gate 3 because things are getting very interesting with Rosamund. We're now in the thick of Act 3 with Baldur's Gate 3 with Rosamund's playthrough. And of course next Monday for more Indica as well. And then the following Friday for another stream of Baldur's Gate 3 before I go on my little break. So thank you all so very much for joining me tonight, my lovelies. I love this game so much, and I'm so glad that you're all enjoying it as well. Honestly, check it out yourselves. I feel like there's a lot of different little branching paths depending on what drinks that you make for your different guests. So be sure to type in !sponsor, SPONSOR, in order to get the Steam link to Tavern Talk and consider checking it out for yourself. But thank you so much for joining me tonight, my lovelies, and if you've been lurking in the shadows and you like what you've seen so far, then please consider following. We would love to have you back at the Blue Rose Respite. You are welcome anytime. Be sure to check out my other socials that are popping up in the chat right now, including my two YouTube channels, one for my ASMR tales and the other for my Twitch VODs, and my Twitter, my Insta, and my TikTok. So long, folks, and thanks for all the fish. And thank you so much for joining us tonight, Fat Panda Gamer. It was awesome to see you again. You are welcome anytime. And Scarlett, thank you so much for sticking around and making sure everyone had a grand old time. And you're awesome as well. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, my friend. Yes. If you haven't checked it out already, my latest ASMR tale was for the latest chapter of Shadows and Stardust, my Yandere superhero ASMR tale. So if you like ASMR stories with a bit of a darker element to it, then be sure to check that out and give that some love. Let's go see who's currently live and we can go say hello. You know what? We haven't said hi to Hobbitan in quite some time. Why don't we go say hello to Hobbitan, because they are amazing. We haven't said hi in a while. And then you guys can enjoy the rest of your evening. But thank you so much for joining me tonight, my lovelies, for another installment of Tavern Talk. Join me on Friday for more Baldur's Gate 3. Have an amazing rest of your week. And remember, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. And as always, stay wicked and wonderful. Good night, my lovelies.